Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 26 of the Tabletop Experiment, Dragonlance Part 17. I'm going to go in clockwise fashion like I always do. I'm joined once again by Christian, who's playing Swami, our resident sorcerer. Todd, Jay, who's playing Uriel, our resident blade singer. And then Fade, who is not here. He usually plays our Grady, our resident druid, but he had some technical problems. He might join us later. I don't know. I can play a druid. I've done that before. Wild shape, wild shape, wild shape. Forget the group. Wild shape. Squirrel. That's how it is. Anyway, and again, we're joined by Jesse, who's playing Martok, our resident. Let's be honest. You have paladin levels, but you're a warlock in all intents and purposes. Let's not fool everybody. There's so much hexing and Eldritch Blast going on and darkness. You don't learn darkness in paladin school. They don't teach that.
I have a Hexadin. Hexadin's the class.
No, Hex. That's no, okay. That's fine. I was going to say, I just think there's a lot of hexing going on. It's fine. To catch everybody up on what happened last session, it was basically just a big combat session where you guys fought some hillmen. You were on your way to Wheelwatch Outpost. The Knights of Solamnia want to retake the outpost. It is a supply depot for them. You agreed in payment, and some of you agreed because you were compelled. Jesse is a squire of the Knights of Solamnia. Christian, who's playing Swami, and Uriel have both joined the Tower of High Sorcery to be a mage of High Sorcery, but they haven't taken their test yet. So they will be doing that actually very soon. I'll be getting in contact. I have time this week, probably this weekend, to do that. So they can get that, and they can get a little bit of training, a little experience. So that's kind of where we're at. You guys killed these hillmen. They took a lot of damage. Just to let you know, they are barbarians. Barbarians are resistant to a lot of damage. So, and they were mad, and they had the brand of the Dragon Queen on them. You guys kind of searched the bodies. There wasn't really a lot of weapons or whatever. They don't really have a lot of armor. If people are watching the episode on YouTube, you can see that I have Tailspire up. You guys have all come to, like, on the shore of this, like, it's more of runoff, like water runoff. It's lightly raining, and you guys made a fire. You were taking a short rest, and that's where we're going to pick up. So you guys are kind of around the fire. It's the rain in Tailspire, people can hear it. It's very loud. It's definitely like a monsoon. What's happening now is that weird mist that happens in the air. We're all from Washington. We know. It's like the air is just wet and misty, and it isn't really raining, but it is rain. Whatever, you know. And so you guys have made a fire. You're taking a short rest, and you just killed, you know, these 4 barbarians. And, you know, Tatina, Rookeldust, the inventor that was with you, used her mechanical drones that she used. And when everything's kind of said and done, I'm just going to move her in Tailspire. She kind of moseys over to the fire. And you see her just like covered in mud. And she's trying to get the mud off her. And she's like, that went terribly. And she's like, you know, wringing her stuff out and everything. And it looks like something exploded around her. Like she's like, you guys have dirt and blood on you. But something didn't happen with her. You don't know if it... you know, if she got hit, or it doesn't look like there's any markings on her, but she definitely looks like she's worse of the wear. So, yeah, that's where we're picking up. So you guys are kind of all around the fire, just like, ugh, you know. Yeah, you guys are free to talk to each other. I mean, you can, you know, whatever. Again, Jesse's.
I'm here.
I'm just going, that was some horse shit.
I mean, privately you were like, what the heck? And publicly you were like, what the heck? They did take a beating, you know, those barbarians.
Yeah.
It seems so bad to me. I'm just
Bro, I hit that guy like 2 or 3 times in the face with acid.
Nice.
And his face turned a different color, and he just got even more mad.
Ooh.
I hit him with fireballs, and once I noticed the magic wasn't working, it was time to pull out the sword.
You're like, oh, crap.
Gotta stick with that magic. That magic be good.
Well,
Well, I mean, it could be like I don't know. There's sometimes you got to be creative, so you have to see if there's like a boulder nearby that you can crush him with, and magic moves it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't have that magic. Sorry.
I mean, yes, Swami, you're there too. I mean, you you were using your dagger, and like I just remember you said, "Hey guys, dagger isn't the move." I think is what you said, fighting those guys.
I just got to say, hats off to you, Swami. You was putting that dagger to work.
You were. He was.
I definitely should level up on dagger.
I mean,
for how much I had to use it last go around.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there is an old rule in Dragonlance that all mages were given a dagger, because even when they fought in the field, you know, their spells would fail them, or they would run out of spells because they'd be in a siege or something so long and wouldn't take a rest. And a lot of mages died, so they started making a thing where it was like, we're giving every mage just a dagger, so it's like a last ditch, like, you know, it could save your life.
It did.
So basically, based off of your guys' map that you had to get to Wheelwatch, you can go. I'm going to use the compass on Tailspire. Basically, you can go east from here and follow the riverbed, and you go you're basically southeast, but you would basically go east from the compass and go down. There's like lowlands where it'll get more wooded and stuff like that, or these are the clearest paths. I'm just giving you the clearest path. The other clearest path is up through where the hillmen attacked you. There's some trees getting up in that, but after that, there's some trails and stuff. So your map says as much, like, you know, it's like a map quest map, like this way or this way to Wheelwatch. So you guys can kind of make the decision if you want to go basically south of where you are now up to where the hillmen attacked you, or go east down, follow the runoff until you get to the like a wooded area. Those are, again, you can go wherever you want. I'm just saying these are the clearest, non-difficult terrain, you know, paths that you can go.
You guys want to go? I think we could go up to the hillmen,
right? I mean, they did.
Yeah, you know, they
see if they
might
got a
have left
camp
there.
up there, or if there's more of them up there.
Yeah, just
left some loot or something.
Scoop up.
Did you just say a saloon?
No, some loot.
Oh, I thought you said saloon. I'm like, that would be hilarious. Like in the woods, there's just like a wood building. Like, hey, howdy, partner. You guys want some ale? You're like, what?
Bar.
It's like, is this haunted? That would be my number one. That would be my number one. Yeah, Tatina's like, do you guys know this area well? Because I don't know if any of you are looking at the map. I'm just telling you what you were given when you left Calamane. But she actually is like unscrolling a map and like blinking a lot, you know, because it's lightly wet. And she's like, I don't really know this place that well.
We have no idea.
But we can go that way, or we can go that way.
As soon as you say it, as soon as Martok's like, we have no idea, she's like, great! And like puts her map away, you know, in like a scroll case, and goes, and she goes, and Uriel, when you go, you know, we go this way or we can go this way, and she literally goes, huh, and like does that, and there's no wind, and she just goes, I guess up in the hills, like just like flip a coin logic of we're doing it.
What's her name?
Tatina.
Tatina? Like a...
No, a T.
No, Tatina.
Yeah.
Tatina?
Tatina.
Tatina.
Yeah. T-A... Yeah.
Like Tatiana?
Yes.
Tatina. I got it.
It's like it sounds like a Mexican dish. If you were to go to a Mexican restaurant and be like, I'd like the Tatina and eggs, you know, or like the Tatina with chicken. Yeah. That's what we're going to call this episode. I'm writing that down right now. Tatina with chicken.
Tatina with chicken. I was just going to explain, like, look, it doesn't really matter what direction we go. Things just work out for us. Like, we just got that magic. So if we're going up to the hills, that means it's the right direction. You just got to have faith, you know?
You see her put her, you know, inventing jeweler, you know, like the magnifying eye, and it like looks at you, and she goes, Okay. And like she just, you know, tightens her ruck up. Did you guys took a short rest before we ended last session, right? If I remember it, you guys all took a short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's like, all right, let's go. Who wants to lead the way? Does it really?
I knew there was a reason why I liked you.
Yeah.
She just goes with it.
Just goes with it. All right. I'll lead the way. I think it makes sense for me to be in front.
All right.
Of course.
I'll put O'Grady in the back because he always is a back. Uriel, you want to be second, maybe?
Yeah, I'll be second.
And then Tatina is kind of right behind you. Swami, I take it you're right there next to her or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting people in line because I can grab everybody at once and move you. There we go. You know, it doesn't take that long to get up here. Now, do you guys want to stop and look at the bodies or anything, or did you?
We did all that before.
Yeah, we did all that.
I'm just making sure. Like, there was other stuff on the ground that like Uriel and O'Grady found, like broken weapons and stuff. I didn't know if you guys wanted to.
Well, there was some packs and stuff. I think that like the people's stuff.
Yeah, we'll grab like their food and water and resupply.
Yeah, I'll just say I don't know. Martok, I keep giving you a hard time. Are you the treasure? Are you the inventory guy? If they find something?
No, I don't think so. I think we're just splitting it up as we go.
Okay, I was just gonna say you find 2 days of rations, and it looks like some of their packs have been ripped. You know, like ripped up. Like their stuff's already kind of been gone through. Uriel, you found that note of like they were also trying to go to the keep. You know, as well. They, you know, their orders were to reinforce the keep.
Well, all right. There's nothing much left, so let's keep on rolling.
All right. So you guys kind of make your way up through the hills, and you guys are right here, and I will summon you to this board right here. So that way, well, it doesn't matter. You guys don't care. You're not using Tailspire, but you guys basically come up, kind of up through this swamp, and you see some. Actually, everybody, give me an investigation check while you guys are kind of trouncing up through the hills there. Open up D&D Beyond in the app.
12.
Nice. I'm opening it up right now.
Ooh.
18.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Natty 20.
Sorry, my fitness app just shamed me and said, hey, you should probably walk around. Like right when I went to open the app. D&D, that's no way to, cut calories. Okay. Game log. Nice. You got a nat 20, Uriel?
I did.
Did you use real dice?
Damn right. Them other dice.
No, I just didn't see your number. It's fine. So you guys come to this crest, and as you guys are like investigating, you see, the troop movements of, where the hillmen came down the hill. You see that they have like. Uriel, you especially key into the fact that you see that they've dropped things on the ground, like they're they don't make a camp, they just march towards something, but as you guys crest the hill, and actually with your nat 20, Uriel, is there anything you specifically want to find? I'll give you, any specific piece of information. I mean, obviously you got a nat 20. Is there any one thing you're looking for?
Is there any more of them up here?
No. The amount of tracks that you count coming in and out or the exact number of people that you killed. But with the nat 20, you see the tracks of something else that is draconian. You fought enough draconians to know that those tracks, but they went where you guys were, they went east. So they basically, with your nat 20, the 4 hillmen marched down to fight you guys, and another set of draconian tracks went east, basically like farther down the swamp.
I tell them there's the barbarian tracks, but there's some draconian tracks going this way.
Oh, we should double time after them.
Double time.
Well, there's only one. Just to be clear here, there's only 2 paw prints, basically 2 talon prints. You know,
That's okay. We'll kill him dead.
as you guys crest and you guys are talking about it, everybody smells bread being baked, and you smell like you hear like a humming coming from. Well, I'd have to do the measurement thing, but it's very close to where you guys are, and you hear like you smell like a campfire going.
Maybe we should go see what's cooking.
And you guys are right behind these trees. And following Uriel's other feedback, this is a little bit heavily more wooded, but I didn't want to overdo it with like people moving, you know, getting stuck in trees. And I mean, it sucks in combat, right? When you get stuck by a tree or on top of a tree or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of like what you smell when you guys are whatever.
Okay. So we'll go check out the baked goods and come back to the trail.
Hopefully it's a stall. Hopefully it's a bake stall.
Hopefully it's somebody that we can still kill and just take their food.
There's
That's
5
right.
of us. There's only one of that person. I'm just gonna move you guys. You guys.
That sounds like a Power Ranger episode.
And those 2 guys, the 2 bullies, come out at the end and talk about how, guys, bullying isn't cool. You know what I mean?
That's basically the whole episode.
Yeah.
Them against one guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys kind of come through the brush, and I'm trying to see if I can make it so you guys can see this. So on the other side of the river, you see a dwarven man with the there's no art for it. I couldn't find an asset for it, but there's a massive banner of the Knights of Solamnia like right near the fire, and he's got like all this stuff laid out. If you guys can see, like a little fire. He's got like fish. You can smell bread baking, and he's just humming to himself, like he's got like a makeshift little oven, you know, and he's like, and you see on him, I mean, you guys don't need to roll with your passive. You see that he is a knight of Solamnia. He has a sash of the knight of the crown, the crown of the Knight of Crowns, yeah. So like the lowest tier, well, the lowest one of the orders. There's the crown, the sword, and the rose. He's part of the crown.
I just go, hello over there.
You see him look up, and you see him kind of like look into the thing. He's like, and he looks pretty old. He doesn't have his helm on, but you see like his armor's worn. It's in good shape. He keeps it in good shape. You can see it definitely is older. Yeah, he looks.
Walk up towards him.
Okay, yeah, you can. Here, I'll move your guy. Does everybody, or just Uriel and?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over there.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'll walk up there too.
You're like, I smelled the. I'll put you guys right here.
I'd be
Smell
like,
what the night is cooking.
Martok, Martok, I put you in the. Is it dangerous? You're like, hello, and he's like, oh, hello. Everybody, give me a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw?
Does that mean you're bad at wisdom saving? Like the way you said wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. I was like, shit, I haven't used one of them before.
Yeah.
I got a 20.
Okay.
I got a 19.
No, you did well. Whoa, I just zoomed right in. Look at that.
I like to use divine sense to see if he is good or evil.
Everybody gets. I need to get a brighter dice. All the dice have black numbering on them, and my corner's dark. Everybody gets 4 temporary hit points.
Oh.
Nice.
Do you still want to use divine sense?
Yeah. I already used just to get 60 feet.
You kind of need, like, when you use divine sense, you start going like this, you know, like there's actually like a really bright white light coming off this guy, and he's like, he looks at you and he's like, oh, I think he goes, I don't mean to be rude, are you Martok by any chance?
I am Martok.
And you're looking at him like with divine sense, you're like,
You're kind of shiny, friend. Is he a celestial?
No, he's just very good, like blessed,
Very good.
like in a way,
Okay.
blessed with like one of those goody two shoes that we don't like that Swami would throw a fireball at if he's like, give me that bread, like one of those. He's like, oh, he like Swami. He looks at you. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, but I knew there was going to be a spellcaster with everybody. What's your name?
My name is Swami.
Oh, and he literally like bows, and you guys, when you guys get closer to him, you see, his beard hair is braided. He's got braids, but it's all gray hair. It's like really like thin, like he's got a full head of hair. You can just definitely tell he's not in his prime. He's not a 25-year-old dwarf, he's been around the block a couple times. And he's like, oh, and you see him go, Swami, oh, and he looks at you. He's like, and you see Uriel, he like backs up. He's like, what's your name?
I'm Uriel.
Okay. Oh. Wow, you need to tone it down a little bit, son, I think. And
Don't talk to my buddy like that. Don't talk to my
And
buddy
you-
like that.
I just started laughing.
Martok, give me a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
Yes, just Martok.
21.
He is blinking like you were doing when he did Divine Sense. So like, but he's looking at Uriel.
Okay.
So he's like, you see him kind of blinking a little bit and like averting his eyes. He's like, well, I'm sorry, what's... And he looks and he sees O'Grady, because O'Grady's, I think, like 8 feet tall. And he's like, oh, are you... I heard there was a druid traveling with you. Is your name O'Grady? And O'Grady's like, mm-hmm. And he's like, well, and then you guys kind of look behind you and Tatina's kind of like still in the brush. And he's like, you have a gnome with you, don't you? And you see like Tatina's like pops out of the brush. Like she's like, how dare you, sir? How? Like leaps into the camp. It's like, how dare you? And he's like, I didn't mean any offense. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense. I'm sorry. And she's like, you see her just going like this, and he's like, and then he like, he strokes his beard a second. He's like, I've heard of you. You're Tatina. And she's like, yes. And you can see she's mocking him. She does the same bow that he does. And he's like, all right. All right. Will you break bread with me at least? And you see him, like he's got like flat bread on a drying rack, and he pulls it off and breaks bread and hands it to her. And you see her like grab it and then kind of look at him. And then, then she eats the bread and she goes, it's pretty good. And he's like, thank you. Would you, he looks at all of you. He's like, oh, you guys can sit down, and please enjoy the bread. Anything you need, go ahead. It's all for you, really. I was actually waiting
Is it
for
only
you.
bread?
No, it's just like if I like zoom in a little bit, there's some fish like hanging, like dried fish and stuff like that. And he's got some dry rations and things like that. He's like, whatever you want. I was actually waiting for you guys. I was told to set all this up.
Make me a fillet of fish real quick.
Yeah, there's a mess kit and everything. You could do all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll help Swami cook some nice grub.
He's even got like a little like a little workstation with like slaw and like like some pickled.
Coleslaw?
Yeah, like coleslaw and like pickled everything.
He's
Like
doing it.
yeah.
Oh, we get
He's
it now.
doing it.
Yeah.
It's a fish fry.
He got the slaw.
You got the cornbread.
So
My kind of guy. That's
take-
all he's missing right there.
you're like, hey, you're the man. If anybody does not have, if you guys, is everybody eating? I just want to be
Yep.
okay.
Yes.
So if everybody's eating, even Tatina's like, and O'Grady just starts pounding. He's like 7 feet tall. He's hungry. He was an ape twice as well. So I don't know. That probably burns calories. I imagine wild shaping burns a lot of calories. But when everybody does that, if you do not have inspiration, you do now. You have inspiration. So, sorry, Jesse.
I already had
if
it.
you have
Already
inspiration,
had it.
okay. Well,
Times two.
what I'll do is I'll keep. Actually, you guys can all write it down. I'll let you re-roll. Like it's basically inspiration twice.
What was this guy's name again?
Oh, you asked that? You're like, I'm sorry. What's because
Yeah.
he didn't
Oh,
say.
what's your? I didn't catch your name, sir.
He's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Adrick," and he like shakes. He goes to shake your hand. He's like, Martok, nice to meet you.
All right. Nice to meet you, Adrick. So did you see the saw some tracks back there about some dragonkin that wandered off that potentially sent some barbarians after us? Do you know anything about that?
Well, to be honest, I was by myself and I was told to set all this up, so I have tried to keep a low profile. I did see some people trouncing through the woods. I tried to stay hidden. I didn't see the Hillman, but I know where that Draconian's going. So I don't think we need to worry about that. I think we're gonna. He goes, I don't want to be presumptuous, and then he looks at you for a second, and he looks down at your sash, and he's like. To be honest, son, I don't want to offend you. I was told to be part of your company. And he gives you like a sealed thing. And he's like, I was told when I meet you guys to give this to you, Martok. And he hands you this sealed scroll.
And is he a squire too, or is he a knight? Or I don't know what his rank is.
So I'm gonna lay this out. I've been thinking. When you do repetitive work and you're alone listening to podcasts, you have a lot of time to contemplate the world you've created in Dragonlance. So here is the official. I'm gonna pull this up. Here's maybe not my official. So there's 3 orders of the Knights of Solamnia, right? So you have the Knights of the Crown, the Knights of the Rose, and the Knights of the Sword. The color for the Knights of the Crown is like a brownish gold, right? You start is in the crowns, and you get what would you say, like promoted to other orders, right? So here's how and I'll just say it's like something you read or whatever somebody mentioned. Here's how the rank goes. When you start out in your squire, you're given a green sash with the embroideredness of the order that you're in. Mostly it's the crown because that's where everybody starts, right? Then you're literally green. Then when you move up to the next rank, when you've moved up in rank, you're given a white sash with that same order. So they know you have a little bit of experience. Now, these things aren't like you're not a private, whatever. It's basically when your commanding officer deems you move up, right? And that's why you'll still, all the knights talk about, oh, I'm a 3-year white or whatever. Like, I've been doing this a while. I've been waiting for a promotion. So it goes like that with every order. You start out green, white, and then the color. When you finally are like the highest rank, the Order of the Crown would be a brownish gold sash with the emblem of a crown on it. The rose would be a red sash with the emblem of the rose on it, and the only one that is different is the Knight of the Swords. When you're in. You go whatever rank you are and whatever thing you're at, you automatically just get a blue sash with a silver sword on it, meaning you're part of the Knight of the Swords, Order of the Crown of the Swords. So you see that Adrick has a sash of, he's got a white sash of the Order of the Crown, and so he outranks you in time and rank. He's...
Because his sash is what?
It's white. So you're white. So it goes green is green is a squire, white is a member of that order, and then the color is like the highest member of that order. So either brown for the crowns, blue for the swords, and red for the rose. That means you're like the highest. You're like a commander. You could literally go up to anybody, unless it's a commander, and say, "You do this," and they're like, "Yep." Does that make sense?
Yeah, so he's a relatively old guy in the middle rank.
Right. To be like a commander, I mean, you're a veteran. You know how rank works, right? Like some people just don't move up, and I'm sure there's.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm sure there's behind the things of like, you're too valuable to put you in an office, man. We need you out there, and you're like, but I really want to be in an office. I've been doing this for 20 years. Stuff like that. I'm
tired of doing this shit.
Yeah, I want to be in an office. So yeah, he is wearing a white sash with the Order of the Crown on it. So again, people will talk about years and things. So I'm a 3-year white or, whatever. Like, I've been doing this a while. I'm waiting for my promotion. Who knows when it'll come? A la the military. A la the military, So, yeah, he's like, yeah, I was told to set this up. Do you break the seal and read it and everything?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and pop that sucker open.
It's written from Trinity. And he's like, it says, it literally starts out, it says, hello, Martok. I'm glad you're reading this. And then it says, Adrick's a good man. We thought the Wheelwatch Outpost was going to be kind of dangerous, so we told him to join your company. And he puts company in quotes. And he's like, but we appreciate everything you've done. He's a little rough around the edges, but Adrick is a good man, and he's been around a long time. So he'll be able to help you guys out.
Awesome.
He said, if my math is... It literally is writing this out. If my math is correct, it should be about nighttime, and you should be at Adrick's camp. And if I know the way Adrick sets up camp, he did a good job. So enjoy a good night's sleep, and head off to Wheelwatch. Being discreet, but, let us know what's going on. I hope you all made it. And then it's like signed Trinity.
And I'll roll it back up and I'll ask him if he's read this as well. Adrick.
Oh yeah, he's like, no, I mean it was sealed and Trinity said it was for you. So, I mean, although he said although I outrank you, I know how COs work. If he tells me not to read something, I'm not gonna read it. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it says. It implies that you need to listen to what I tell you to do. So that whole rank thing, we can forget about that. And
he goes, well, we are then. Because he's literally like 100 years older than you are. And he's like, son.
I got to take care of you.
He's like, son, I've been around a long time. It doesn't matter to me. I just, I do what I'm told. I'm okay with it.
All right.
Was it rough getting up here?
We fought some barbarians that had the seal of the queen on them.
They were friendly.
Yeah.
And you see him like stroke his beard again.
Offered us free exercise. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And they worked us out because the magic didn't work.
You see him like stroking his beard. He's like, no. So the hillmen are following the Shadow Queen. You see him like right off to his camp. He's got like a crate, or it's like one of those little folding, like you unfold it and it's got like a little canvas there, and he's got like a wood plank on it, and he's got like maps set out and everything. It's just enough for like a portable workstation. He has all these, you can see like maps and stampers and like little, he's really like planning, and it looks like he's looking through reports. You see all these pages, and he's like, it's too bad. I've known the hill people in these hills for a long time, and if these barbarian tribes join the Shadow Queen, it's going to be really rough. I hope I don't run into any more. I fought them years ago, and it was a fight. We had to take a fort with them, and it was rough. So that's troubling. And you see him go over, like while he's got like flatbread in his mouth, and he's like marking notes on his page and everything.
I tell him too, not only did we fight the hillmen, but it also looked like there was another group with letters that says, what is it? Assist the fort.
Oh.
All dead.
Were they Knights of Solamnia, or were they from Calamine?
Did we?
They were from
Calamine. Which one? They were from Calamine.
He's like, that's too bad. He's like, that commander and mayor were nice enough to let us be in their town. They let us whatever, and they're good soldiers. That's too bad. How many of the men did you see that were dead? And you see he's got his like quill above a piece of paper.
1, 2, 3. What was it, like 6 or 7?
That's too bad. You see him like write down on his notes, He's like, did you guys get debriefed on Wheelwatch, or did they just tell you to come this way?
They said it was a shit show.
Well, I can tell you a bit of what I know, and you see him like lay some papers out. Swami, as you're like there, you give me a perception check while you're like, you know, like eating flatbread. I don't know if you see Adrick.
13.
He mentions for you guys to like come over to the table if you want to see. And you see he's got maps laid out of like Wheelwatch and things like that, and he's got like numbers, and it's written. It looks like in a cipher. Okay. Swami, with your 13, your eyes like as you're eating. Are you going to go over to the papers, or are you just kind of looking around the swamp?
No, we're at the papers now.
As you're like eating flatbread, you see a hummingbird, one of those golden hummingbird that you've seen before, like catch your eye, and it like flows around like behind one of the trees, looks at you, does a hummingbird thing, and just takes off again.
Yeah, I want to walk over to that tree.
There's nothing. You see like a little wisp of like light, like a trail, but it dissipates in like 5 or 7 feet. Martok and Uriel, are you guys looking at the papers and all that kind of stuff?
Yep.
He's like, all right, well, let me debrief you on what I know. He's like, I believe, he said, and he's got a map of Wheelwatch. It's basically just a square keep. So, and on the square, he's got like circles on each point for like the lookout towers. And he said that I know of, there's maybe 12 people there. But I don't think that's correct all the way. I couldn't get too close. So, you know, that's the best I could figure out.
12 of our people or 12 of their people?
12 of their people. I do know that there's 2 prisoners of ours that are there. And there's something else that they're working on there. And I don't really know. I've just seen them bring parts in, but I have no idea what it could be.
Oh, I have an idea of what it could be.
Do you see them accepting carts of stuff?
He's like, yeah, some shipments here and there. But other than that, I don't know. It just, to me, looks like gibberish. You know, just nothing. And you see Tatina come up. And, like, you know, it's like the table's, like, right here. And she's like, tell me exactly what you saw coming off those carts. And you see him, like, you know, like, stroke his eyebrow. He's like, well, there was, like, some gears. I know what a gear is. And there was some wheels and some metal plates. And something that looked like you would secure those plates. And I think a couple of mages. That's all I know. And you see her. You see her.
Does anybody else know what this sounds like?
Yeah, sure do.
This sounds like a fire-breathing machine that acts like a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see Tatina. She looks at O'Grady, and O'Grady just like nods, and she's like, she like puts her hands up. She's like, Adrick, we're gonna take that thing apart. And you see him like stroke his beard, and he's like, well, to be honest, when it was coming in, it looked like it was apart. So, done? And she goes, I can't right now. And she walks away with her like bread and everything. Yeah, and so he says the only other thing I know is there's 4 soldiers from the Calamine military who are going to be joining us at the fort. I don't know what time they're going to get there because they have their own marching orders. But they were told to rendezvous with us in the hills. And we have 3 Knights of the Swords that are coming.
Ooh.
Oh, we could probably take the place by ourselves, I think.
We probably could. We definitely should.
Yeah, I don't think a bigger group's going to help us
unless,
out.
Unless they're those damn barbarians.
Oh, yeah.
Do you, any of you mages, and I'm talking to you guys, do you have any kind of disguise magic? Maybe we could.
I kind of do.
Maybe we could. Here's my thoughts. We find one of those carts coming in, you know, and replace the people with ourselves, and get in that way under a disguise.
I got the minor illusion. We can kind of do something with that.
Yeah.
Most of all of my stuff is kill people stuff.
And I'm already a Dragonborn.
I just have death spells. I apologize. I just have spells to kill them.
I have protection from good and evil, and I have light.
You can blind someone with that. The minor illusion. The minor illusion. I can do a
misty step.
I mean, that's a good get out of jail free card. Like, I'm out.
I got Mage Hand too.
Mage Hand and minor illusion are pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking maybe we could hide you guys in the cart. You minor illusion me to look like one of them. I'm already a Dragonborn, so you don't have to worry about I already look like one of them, just not the uniform. Yeah. And then I have suggestion to maybe help get through the gates, and then we can make a ruckus from within.
Boom. That sounds like a plan.
All right.
Adrick's like, he goes, there's one other thing. He goes, to be clear, I think there's 12 people there. That's what I see for patrols. I don't know what's inside. He goes, I've only seen human mercenaries come in and out. And he goes, actually,
there could be
and he looks at
more.
Yeah, he looks at Martok. He's like, it's a good idea disguising as them. Those people that come in those carts all have Dragon Army uniforms and armor.
Yeah.
So that would be a good idea. He's like, but there's something else. I don't know what it is, but they have something in the air. Something that's patrolling. All I know is that there's a wind every night that kicks up at a certain time. And he goes, for some reason, the sky has been black. So black I can't see through it. Even with my Dwarven sight. And I used to work in the mines.
All right. Well, I don't know what we can do about a dark sky. But we can probably get into that place. So that's
it's everybody. You guys are all spellcasters. Everybody give me an Arcana check.
4.
Martok? No. Sorry.
12.
What'd you get? What'd you get, Uriel?
Hold on, you said Arcana?
Arcana, sir.
18.
Wow.
I got a +7, bro.
There you go. Hey, I got one thing working for me. You saw Martok do this. He's kind of describing the darkness spell. So they're casting darkness in the air to obscure something.
Would that be them casting darkness, Martok? To hide stuff?
I mean, darkness.
Because it sounds like that. I've seen your cast spell.
Yeah, darkness is 15 feet though. It doesn't blot out the sky unless they
have some crazy darkness. If there's a couple of people doing it,
well, maybe.
Well, Adrick's he's like, well, that kind of magic is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but he goes, they do. He goes, I have fought in the Dragon Army very powerful spellcasters, and whatever is doing that is doing something. So who knows what they have up their sleeve?
Or it could be a very high-ranking
spellcaster.
Spellcaster.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, could be. I mean, if that's the case, I can actually see through that. Darkness does not affect my vision.
He's like, really? Well, great. I mean, yeah, I mean, something's happening up there, and I don't know what it is. I just know that it's very windy, and I can't see.
What time does that usually happen?
He's like, very late at night. I've had to go out on patrols at many different times to try to catch them unawares, to try to count troop movements, and it seems really sporadic, but it always seems like it's after the sun goes down.
I gotcha. Maybe we can go and check that out after our meal.
Absolutely. He's like, Swami, you're kind of looking around that tree again, and he talks, and you turn around and say something, and then that hummingbird comes back and just darts off again, and within 10 feet it just disappears, just blinks out of existence.
What was that?
Everybody give me a perception check, but besides Swami, because he's looking at it. But Uriel and Martok, give me a perception check.
13.
21.
Wow. Uriel, you catch it too. And with your 21, you see that it looked at Swami, and then right before it darted off, it looked at you, and then it just shot off and disappeared like 10 feet.
I said I see the hummingbird was watching to Swami. Said I wonder if they're keeping tabs on us.
Like a spy hummingbird.
Yeah, remember when you guys signed the paperwork? You guys saw like that glowing hummingbird and everything.
Oh yeah.
And it came up when you guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Wheelwatch," and it was like, "Okay," or the hummingbird came up to Sinat and was like, "Hey," and she's like, "I know that hummingbird. Hey guys, how's it going? I know what's going on with you." Like,
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I wonder if they're keeping tabs on us.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
You see Adrick's like, "Well, I mean, eat up. We should be safe here. Since Martok, you cast Divine Sense, when you've kind of adjusted your vision to Adrick, but you look and where he put that banner that has the Knights of the Crown on it or whatever, you see like this whole area around the camp is like kind of like lightly glowing gold.
Oh.
Like in a 20-foot radius kind of around the camp.
Is that a protection spell?
I'll ask Adrick, what is this faint glow around us? I think you're like me, like a paladin.
You see him look and smile. He's like, "Oh, it's just a blessing I like to give my camps at night. I do have watch even when I'm by myself, but when I do sleep, it just keeps me a little bit safer."
Gotcha. All right, very cool. I don't know how you did that.
He's like, and you see him like touch his chest, and you see he's got it like a religious symbol, like on it, and he like grabs it, and like bows a little bit.
Yeah, I got one of those, and I'll touch mine. It's like a flame, like a crystallized flame.
I just burn them. I don't know what. I just burn people for my god. Yeah, like, oh man, that's dark. Yeah.
Well, that's my god. My god's about fire and passion. So it's all about.
So you're randomly, passionately burning people down.
Yeah. Long as we do it creatively, my god's happy.
As long as we do it in the name of good. He's like, well.
Yeah, creativity, passion, and fire.
He's like, we should probably set up watch. I've kind of gone over these papers over and over again. And I've been waiting for you. I've been keeping the camp and fire burning a little bit longer than I wanted to. I'm going to ruck out, but I'll take second watch. So you guys decide how you want.
First.
He's like, you guys decide and then wake me up. And you see him go, and he goes to this. I don't know if you guys see it here, but there's actually a hammock in the tree. So he goes to the hammock, and he lays the fuck down in the hammock because he set up camp and he gets the hammock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take first watch, I guess.
That's good.
Uriel said he would do it.
Oh, okay.
Unless you guys want to fight over who's got first watch.
I'll take whatever's left. I don't...
Yeah. Tatina's like, as soon as you guys are like divvying out watch, he goes, "I'm hitting the hay." And you see, like, didn't even volunteer for watch, just goes to a sleeping bag and just passes out.
I'm like, hey, make sure you leave some room in there for me.
You see her climb and she pulls out like her own bedroll and it's just big enough like for her, and she's like it's still funny, and she like rolls it over like pulls it over her head to like go to sleep. So Uriel's first, Adrick will be second watch, Martok will be third. Swami, I take it you're fourth, your last watch or whatever.
Yeah, I'll take last watch.
Okay. Is there anything you guys want to do before you pass out? Because really,
no,
you've
we
got
need
on
sleep.
paperwork or
I need sleep.
Yeah, so everybody take a long rest. Click on your character sheets and do that if you have to.
Done deal.
Sweet. Uriel, Adrick wakes you up, and he's like, "It was quiet." He's like, "Nothing to report."
I'm like, nothing happened.
And he's like whispering. He's like, "So have you taken the test yet, or have you just signed the paperwork?"
I've signed the paperwork. We're waiting for our call to take the test.
Well, I've served with some mages before. You'll know. You'll know when you have to take the test.
That's what we kind of heard. So I'm anxious and nervous and everything all at once.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't talk about it when they get done with it, but good luck. He like pats you on the shoulder, you know, and then he just goes back to the hammock and lays down. You kind of like when you do your patrol, just give me 2 perception checks while you're on your patrol.
Well, 13. So perception.
Oh, you're asleep, Swami.
I'm just doing it for when I had it ready. When
Oh,
it's my
okay.
turn.
I was gonna say you're asleep. You're very perceptive. You have like one eye open while he's like
Alright.
pop up.
So 18 and 12.
Okay. With the 18, I'm going to move your character. Where's your... I put your mini under a tree. See, I did it to myself this time. There you are. So you kind of get to here with your patrol, like right about like to the edge, and you're looking over. Well, no, you're not at a tree. Hang on. There you go. It put you right on top of a tree. So you're about here, like looking out, you know. And actually, I'll add it. Oh, I think it's here, maybe. Hang on, I gotta look for it. Sorry. Here we go. You look to the, you're looking out, and like you're kind of looking out into the trees, and all of a sudden, like you see Ladira come towards you, like fade in towards you, and you see her holding a horse, and it's also spectral, and she's like patting it. She's like, "Hi, Uriel. How are you doing?"
I kind of bow to her and I'm like, I'm good, and how are you?
She's like, "I'm good. Are you ready?"
I'm ready. Is it the time now?
She's like, "Yes. Do you have any questions?"
No.
She's like, "To remind you."
It's either a pass or a fail, right?
That's true. That's right. She's like, "To
And
remind
if
you."
I fail, I have to run for the rest of my life.
Well, there is 2 outcomes. Either you fail and you're dead, so you won't worry about it, or you fail and you'll run for the rest of your life. Yes, so 2 outcomes. Or 3, you pass and you're in the society. Mage of High Sorcery. She gives you the spirit horse, and like when you climb on it, like as you're climbing on it, you see it start to become like a real horse. Like it just fades into being like an actual stallion. And she says, "Just to let you know, no time will pass when you take your test."
So everybody will be okay.
You'll come back right at the end of your watch. She's like, "Really? First watch? That's commendable."
Tried to get it out of the way so I could sleep longer.
She's like, "Well, we'll see you soon." And you see her, as soon as she says that, she slaps the ass of the horse and it disappears into the brush. And what you see is when you're holding on, everything around you, like you burst into the trees and then everything fades out. And you get dumped on the ground and you're on a stone cold stone floor. And all you see is one brazier lit in the middle. And you see like a shadowy figure kind of like standing at the brazier where you really can't make out like its features or anything because it's shadows and such. But you don't take any damage. But you kind of get up and all you see around you that you can faintly make out with the braziers is you are in a stone room. And there's no... from the stonework, you can't tell any difference. You can't tell that there's a door or when anything's been worked on. It literally just looks like everything is immaculate. But it looks like an old medieval castle, like gray stones that you're standing on, and this figure, as soon as you like dump on the ground, you see like the light spell come up around you, but it's dim light. So it's like they cast it as dim light, and you see the figure walk up to you, and it's an elderly elf. And I mean, you would know that because elves, you're an elf.
Yeah.
And he's like, Uriel, thank you for coming.
I do the bow to him, show him my respect.
He's like, do you have any questions?
Would I have to worry about overthinking anything, or is it just a do? First reactions are usually the best, or...
You see him smile a bit. He's like, to be honest, just be you. That's the best advice I can give people when they take the test.
Okay.
He's like, and you can't... Yeah. He's like, and to be very clear, usually when people complete this, you'll be given robes and a mentor. If you're unhappy with how the test goes out, you can ask questions. And you can change the color of your robes. You will lose.
Guys?
You got to go?
Yeah, the lights are and the freights are in the kitchen. I got to go see what that's about.
That's okay. We're doing this. It's good. Check on it, man. He just says, listen, he says, you will be given robes and a powerful magical weapon. If you are unhappy with the results of the test, you can ask questions. There will be a person from every order there. The white, the red, the black, and the sorcerer. So if there's a problem, you can do that. Any other questions?
I can't think of anything. I'm a little nervous.
He's like, I understand. He motions for you to come with him, and he's like, you will have access to all your weapons and all of your spells, just as you would normally cast them. So we're not taking anything away from you. So you have all of what you have on you right now. And you see, as he's walking, you see the dim light is following you in like a globe, but it's like dim light, you know, so you guys can barely see, but everything around you is just stonework, and it just looks like it goes on forever. But as he's talking, he's like, if you don't have any more questions, he goes, and you see, he looks at you like, you know, do you have any more questions?
How will I know when it ends? Or when do you, like, is there usually a timeline for how long these last?
He's like, time for you will move like it normally does. The sun will rise, the sun will set, depending on how long your test takes. But when you come back here, no time will pass for your friends. And the one mercy we give people is you will be fully rested with everything that you have on you. So, if you're alive. He's very clear about that. If you're alive.
So, I kind of laugh a little bit.
So to be above board, if you make it through and all that stuff happens, when you leave the facility, you get a long rest. So you're like, you know, invigorated and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
He's like, if you don't have any more questions, you guys walk and you see one wooden door with the doorknob on the left, and he opens it and he says, just remember, this is a test, but you have to treat it as real as possible. Things in this test will hurt. You will be tested with all your spells. If you make people mad or they pull a sword on you, that's how you could die. This is not that fake.
Understood.
He said, you have one last chance. Any questions?
How do I pass?
He's like, well, when this is over, if it goes well, you'll wake up in this room. But you'll meet everybody from the order, one of each order. You'll meet them, and they'll congratulate you. And you'll have a ceremony where they give you your robes, your weapon, and you'll meet your mentor. If you don't pass, you'll wake up in this room with no one around you, and the door will be open. This door that I'm about to open will be open, and you'll see the exact place that you came into here with. And my advice to you would be, if that's the case, run.
Yay.
He opens a door and he pushes you through, and it again, you're like in this dim, it looks like the lights are out, you know? And then all of a sudden it's like someone puts a dimmer switch on, and you're in a grand like office that is like wood arch architecture, and you know, like very elvish design that you would imagine, like gold inlays in a bedroom, but you're like standing holding the door to like you know, to leave the office, and you see a bed, like a 4-post bed with like you know tassels and sheets hanging off it. I mean, this is like the bee's knees, you know, top of the line stuff. And when you're holding the door and you look around, and on the other side of the door you just hear like a party happening. Like just merriment, you know, drinks, you know, being clinked, and like food being eaten. You hear dancing and like some music in the background.
Investigate.
Hang on.
14.
Yeah, this is a party. There's nothing sinister happening. You hear somebody on the other side going, "I have to get him. He hasn't showed up yet. I have to get him. I have to. Hang on. No. And as you're like holding the door, it comes crashing open, and this like elf comes through, like perfectly like done, black hair, like a beautiful like dress gown. It goes all the way to the ground. It's got like gold filigree in it. It's blue. He's like, "Cousin, what? We were waiting. Come to the party. We have a space for you. There's ale lined up."
I always like ale.
He's like, of course. He's like, "Why did you keep us waiting? You said you were writing letters. I don't understand. It's a night of party. You shouldn't be writing. You should be celebrating."
I'm sorry, I lost track of time.
He's like, come this way. And right when the door bursts open, it is a party. Like, it's crazy for elves. You know, very distinguished. But you do hear music. You see, like, fire breathing. There's, like, a guy doing something with swords. Stuff like that.
I'm just looking around, taking it all in.
You see, sorry, I gotta do one thing really quick. Oh, Faladex disappeared. All right, that doesn't make me feel so bad then, because I was like, where is he? Are you still around, Jesse, or did you?
He did that, and then he turned off the camera for a second, so
okay.
I don't know if he stepped away or...
Okay, well...
I'm just making a snack, guys.
Oh, okay.
I can hear everything you're saying now.
Okay. Martok, you're laying there, and it's your watch, you know? And you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I wake up.
Yeah. I'm
yes.
You see Uriel standing there going, "It's your watch."
Oh. All right. And I'll just kind of get up groggily and start doing my thing.
And you see Uriel go and lay down in the bed that you were taking, and then you go and watch. Can you give me 2 perception checks? You wake up and you kind of look around, and you're like, "Oh God." Ugh. Do you do the perimeter and everything? Like,
yeah.
There's nothing of note or anything. But give me an Arcana check.
9.
+1, huh? Okay. Yeah, nothing really seems out of the ordinary, but you see that Adrick is up. and he's looking through his. It's like he woke up. Like he's like, it looks like he's got like this single candle, and he's like looking over his notes again. He's like, oh, you smell coffee though.
Oh, sweet. Once I finish the patrol, I'll get a pot of coffee.
You see him. He's like, I couldn't sleep. Martok, you haven't been a knight for very long, have you? He like looks down at your sash and everything. He's like, those are a little bit. He's like, those are. He's like, but you've been with your friends for a while.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Well, it's good to have friends. Bro. It's actually I'm gonna move Tailspire because screw Uriel. He's in another dimension right now. Where did you? I don't think I moved your guy anywhere. There you are. I'll move you over here. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're kind of like right in front of him actually. Okay, let's spin this around. Yeah, you're talking to him. He's like, well, it's good to have friends. I was part of a company and well, I'm not anymore. So, do you trust the people you're with?
Oh yeah. We've all saved each other's lives.
As he says trust, you just hear this, and you look over and it's Tatina. She's just totally cutting logs like in the corner of like one of the just totally, just like just loud. And he's like, gnomes. Anyway, I'm glad you have people you can trust.
Yeah, I mean. But just to look out for Tatina, make sure to double check you have all your underwear in the morning. I heard that somewhere.
Got to watch out for them underwear gnomes.
Yeah, he's like, you see him stroke his beard and he chuckles a bit. He's like, it's like one of those silent laughs. He's like, I've heard that too. And you see him like hand you a cup of coffee or whatever, and he's like, do you know anything about the Knight of Swords?
Not really. They're like special forces. They do special assignments, and they don't follow as many orders.
No, just the ones they're giving from the Knights of the Rose. But he goes, between you, me, and the trees, I actually know the members that are going to be on this assignment.
All right.
He's like, they're pretty good. Yeah. He goes, I'm actually excited to meet him. I keep hearing a lot about him. So
don't put nobody up on a pedestal. Set yourself up for failure if you meet your heroes, man. They're just normal people.
He's like, that's true. But, I mean, everything that's said about the Knight of Swords, these three people are an example of that. Anyway, just know that if you see them, I was always told, and I'm still told, to leave them alone unless they interact with you. Their mission is their own. Our mission is ours. They're to assist us, but they might have more they're doing there.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to follow that direction at all.
I'm gonna talk to him quite a bit, actually.
Talk to whoever I want to, yeah.
Who are you again? Yeah, a lot of like, who are you again? Yeah. Yeah, that's a dumb rule. In fact, I think. Yeah.
That's you should not. I don't know who gave you that advice, but I would not listen to that person.
He just laughs. He's like, fair enough. He's like, well, do you have any other questions? I mean, I know this area a little bit, and I mean, you could look through my notes if you want.
Any dangers around? Any resources we could use?
He's like, to be honest, I think getting the outpost back would be a great help, and we'd get those resources back by taking the keep. They've been bringing a lot of stuff in there, and if we can take the keep with the things that they've had delivered, that'd be a great boon to the knights. And we have to split it with the soldiers of Calamane. Again, they are letting us, stay in their city, so we have to give them something.
Gotcha. All right. Yep, sounds good. And just, think about having faith in yourself, too. Maybe it's a special thing that those knights meet you. Ever thought of that? Just don't put yourself down.
You see him, cock his head. He's like, actually, I did never think of that. Thanks. And then you see him go back to his hammock and just pass out.
Cool.
It's at the end of your watch. You still have a little bit of time before you have to wake Swami up. Is there anything you want to look over, or do you want to make another cup of coffee? Or
I'll make a cup ready for Swami.
Okay.
So that when he wakes up, he just gets handed this cup.
So you're like, here, shut up, take the coffee. Take the coffee.